bias in her because of her gross misconduct in the Senate that led us to a 6-month suspension where Kogi Central will not be represented at the National Assembly, the Senate arm. So we have come to record her back so that we can have a representative in the Senate. Because as a people, we cannot afford not to have a representative in the Senate arm for another 1 year. So we are here to tell INEC to please follow the constitutional process for a recall so that our recall process can begin. That's why we're here.
Have you submitted
We submitted a petition. It's been received. All other documents have been received. This is the acknowledgement copy of the petition.
Is it the entire constituency or just a group of people? Under which platform are you presenting?
Okay, it is a concern for the youth and women. Yes.
And who is controlling this?
Talking about Banco is a personal business. Oh, it's a personal thing. We are members of our constituents, and we're saying we don't want her anymore because you cannot afford not to have a representative. So nobody is bankrolling. But we are the one that voted her, and we're saying we don't want her anymore. So we're not. Nobody is bankrolling. Nobody is having any personal issue with her. It is just what it is. The game is the game.
Okay. When you say you come to some position,
yes.
Is it a process that maybe you have collected the signature already, or you're about to do that? What are the things you have done already?
Okay, thank you very much. We all know the INEC rules. You cannot submit a petition without having to go and get signatures of registered voters, and that's why we're now saying, as a people, we are recalling her back from the Senate because we have gotten what it takes to recall her back from the Senate.
Like how many number of registered voters?
We have 488,000 registered voters from Kogi Central, and as I speak to you right now, we have more than 250,000 voters that are signed for her recall.
Okay. So what was the response?
Like you know, INEC is an institutional body, and its constitution is binding them, and as such, they will have to follow due process. So they will get back to us and they will do their job.
Your name, huh?
My name is Somadi Charity Jesse.
So, on this very note, we are going to be getting some clarifications on the stand of Nigerian Constitution in the process of removal of Natasha Akpoti as the Senate member. Here is the background of Nigerian Constitution as regards to the recalling of any senator. It states, in Nigeria, a senator can be recalled based on the provisions of Section 69 of the 1999 Constitution of Federal Republic of Nigeria as amended. The grounds to recall typically include: number 1, loss of confidence by constituents. If the people who elected the senator feel dissatisfied with their performance, they can initiate a recall process. We are coming to that recall processes. Then, second is misconduct or criminal allegations. If a senator is involved in a serious misconduct, corruption, or criminal activities, constituents may push for a recall. Number 3, failure to represent constituents' interests. If the senator neglects their duties, fails to attend legislative sessions, or does not advocate for the needs of their constituents, they may be recalled. So these are the provisions that can actually lay in the cause of, recalling of any senator. So here's the process of recalling a senator according to 1999 Constitution. To recall a senator in Nigeria, the following steps must be followed. The number 1 is petition by the registered voters. Now here comes with what the woman was trying to present within the press, where she said that over 400,000 voters, were actually counted, and of course 250,000 voters already signed the petition. And here, of course, is going to be very, very interesting because all of those things, the signatures and everything, is always investigated. So it states, a petition signed by more than a half of registered voters in a senator's constituents must be submitted to the chairman of Independent National Electoral Commission, that is INEC. So, of course, 400,000, over 400,000, 250,000 is more than a half. So, that is the first one. Then the second is verification of signatures. Of course, that is where the investigation comes in. INEC verifies that the petition is signed by the required number of voters. That is number 2. Then the third is referendum, public votes. If the signatures are verified, INEC conducts a referendum within 90 days of receiving the petition, because all of those things takes processes, gradual processes to actually get effect. Now, the number 4, majority decision. If more than half of the registered voters in the constituency vote in favor of the recall, a senator is removed. Now, how do we find out? Because this whole 250,000 voters that signed, that were purportedly signed, just came up accidentally. No one knew how we were actually able to raise such numbers. So let's go on. Number 5 states that notification of the Senate, INEC should then notify the Senate president and the senator's seat becomes vacant. So it's not going to be easy. Of course, we are going to watch and see how this all play out, because this is a politics and anything can happen. I mean, considering what happened in Rivers, where a well-democratically elected governor was removed overnight without approval of any signature of any member of National Assembly, is something that should not actually play a surprising action to anyone. Anything can happen, you know. But then it's also funny that when you consider most of those things that are listed here in the Nigerian Constitution as regards to the cause of removal of any senator, you will all notice that if we should categorize it the way it is, none of the senators, over 103 of them, none of them actually have the credibility to represent us over there. I mean, look at the key points. Loss of confidence by the constituents. Which Nigerian have confidence on his or her senator? Misconduct or criminal allegation. Who knows what they are doing there? Failure to represent constituent interests. Are they representing anybody's interests? So, in as much as this is happening, I also do believe that there's going to be investigation, of course. I think the petition that was submitted is being looked into by the INEC. Hopefully they do justice to it, whatever it is. If actually those that petitioned or signed those documents are really the constituents, so be it. After all, these politicians, they don't even care. So right now we are having it that the INEC is, of course, similar to reject the petition, citing that it lacks some sort of contacts, petitioner's address. All right. The news have it that Natasha Akpoti, the senator representing Kogi Central, is to be recalled. We all have seen that it's been a very hectic drama in the Senate as regards to the commencement of Natasha Akpoti's suspension for the period of 6 months. And of course, it has garnered a lot of reactions across board, you know, within the country, where a lot of people have actually, you know, voiced out their opinion as regards to the if the suspension was actually legitimate or sustainable or not. Could this be a plot by the opposition to actually remove Natasha permanently from House of Senate? So also, let's watch how these purported signatures were all manufactured. You know, like I have always said, the issue behind Natasha's allegation is something I think that she cannot actually, you know, prove beyond every reasonable doubt. And that is where it is turning back to actually pinch her. I think also that there's a case of misplacement of priority. Just like I said it before, when it comes to good news, when it comes to something impactful, Nigerians don't pay attention to it. When it comes to something that are not important, some things that are not important, that is what Nigerians actually pay attention to. When this issue of Natasha came up, a lot of people were not actually interested until the issue of sexual harassment came in. People started paying in interest and it started going global, and that's why I'm asking, and that's why I'm saying that if Natasha knew, she wouldn't have actually put up the issue of sexual harassment, because she do not have what it takes to actually prove that she was actually sexually abused by the Senate president. And that's where it has actually turned out to actually hunt her back. So do me well to actually leave your comments to what you feel about this development at this particular time.